What's up, everyone? This is Bobby King bringing you the latest breaking Iraqi Dinar news straight from inside Iraq. We're hearing major chatter this month about the project to remove the zeros, and it could finally be time to see real movement from the Central Bank of Iraq. Could Iraq be about to swap out the 3-0 notes for lower denominations? Reports say nearly 90% of dinars are still outside the banking system, and the CBI says this liquidity crisis will be resolved soon. My sources tell me the removal of zeros could be the trigger that brings that cash flooding back into the banks, and yes, there might even be incentives to do it. So stay tuned, because what's coming next could change everything for the Iraqi dinar. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and support the channel so you never miss these critical updates before they hit the mainstream. Something huge could be brewing inside Iraq's financial system, and this time, the signals are louder than ever. From Baghdad's economic circles to reports emerging from the Central Bank of Iraq, whispers are turning into open conversations. We should see some movement on the project to remove the zeros this month. That's not speculation, it's confirmation that change is coming. The question now isn't if, but when. The currency crossroads, Iraq's liquidity crisis. According to official data and recent reports, nearly 90% of Iraq's currency in circulation, the Iraqi dinar, is still outside the banking system. Think about that for a moment. Billions in dinars sitting in homes, safes, and private hands instead of within banks. This lack of liquidity has crippled lending, slowed growth, and made monetary reform nearly impossible. Yet the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, appears to have a bold plan to fix it once and for all. And that plan? The project to remove the zeros. What does removing the zeros really mean? Let's break it down simply. Iraq's current currency, the 25,000, 10,000, and 5,000 dinar notes, are part of what economists call the 3-0 series. These were introduced during the early 2000s to stabilize the post-war economy. Now, the CBI is reportedly preparing to remove the zeros, which means redenominating the currency, swapping out the high-value notes for lower denominations that reflect a stronger, more confident Iraqi economy. In short, 25,000 IQD notes could become 25 IQD. 10,000 IQD could become 10 IQD. 5,000 IQD could become 5 IQD. And according to insiders, this transformation could begin as early as this month. CBI Insider. There will be incentives. An anonymous CBI contact reportedly revealed something even more interesting, a carrot for the citizens. By removing the zeros, Iraq's banking system expects most of that idle currency to flow back into the banks, as citizens will need to exchange their old notes for the new, lower denominations. But there's more. The CBI is said to be planning incentives to encourage people to deposit their cash instead of keeping it hidden. That's a major shift, and it could inject billions in liquidity into Iraq's financial system almost overnight. The issue of liquidity will be resolved soon, CBI's exact words. Recently, in a series of official statements tied to the redenomination project, the CBI stated that the issue of lack of liquidity would be resolved soon. Let that sink in. Those weren't rumors. Those were the CBI's own words. This aligns perfectly with reports that preparations for the new currency, printing, distribution planning, and software updates have been quietly underway. The timing couldn't be more critical. Iraq's economy is expanding, oil exports are strong, and digital finance reforms are in motion. The stars appear to be aligning. Why the move could shock the world. If Iraq truly begins the swap out of 3-0 notes for the new denominations, the global financial world will take notice, fast. Why? Because this marks the final stage of long-discussed monetary reform. It's not just about printing new money. It's about transitioning Iraq into a globally recognized, modernized, and possibly revalued currency system. Some analysts believe that this could lay the groundwork for a stronger exchange rate in the future, though the exact value and timing remain tightly guarded. If successful, Iraq could set an example for post-conflict nations trying to rebuild their financial independence and global credibility. The people's reaction, hope and skepticism. On the streets of Baghdad and Basra, ordinary citizens are cautiously optimistic. They've heard promises before, but this time feels different. The talk isn't just coming from social media or private blogs. It's in official CBI communications and mainstream Iraqi press releases. The idea of removing the zeros used to feel distant. Now it's appearing in daily news cycles, sparking conversation and speculation across the nation. The bigger picture, rebuilding trust in Iraq's banking system. For decades, trust in Iraq's banking system has been fragile. Now, with incentives and modernization underway, including international digital banking standards and electronic payment systems, the CBI hopes to pull citizens' cash back into circulation. That means more loans, more investment, and a real foundation for a stable economy. And the removal of the zeros could be the key that unlocks it all. Final thoughts. Are we on the edge of a monetary breakthrough? No one can predict the exact date, but the tone from Iraq's leadership, central bank officials, and financial analysts points toward action. We should see some movement on the project to remove the zeros this month. Those words echo louder each day. The CBI is signaling readiness, and insiders suggest the mechanism is already in place. The question remains, will Iraq finally flip the switch? If they do, the financial ripple won't stop at Iraq's borders. It could reshape Middle Eastern economics and send a signal to global markets that Iraq is back on the financial map. That's it for today's Bobby King Iraqi Dinar update, folks. We've covered what could be the most important move by the Central Bank of Iraq in years, the potential removal of zeros and liquidity reset. If this happens, it could finally bring Iraq's economy to the next stage of reform. Drop your thoughts and comments. Do you think the CBI is finally ready to pull the trigger on the lower denominations? I want to hear from you. And hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video so we can keep spreading the real news that others miss. Follow and support the channel to stay ahead of the curve with Bobby King Iraqi Dinar News, where truth and timing matter most. Until next time, stay alert, stay hopeful, and stay ready for change. Thank you.